All right. Welcome to Mixtape Stories, Season 2. Today, we've got special guest Itzel.
Hello.
And we're going to be talking about Indie Sleaze. Indie Sleaze is a term that a lot of people don't like. I like it because I think it's funny.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's something that like it describes that time from like around maybe like 2003 to about 2012 where indie rock was kind of becoming more about a sound than an actual being indie label. And yeah, it's something that there's a lot of stuff that came out of it that I really like, and Indie Sleaze is kind of just making fun of that. So yeah, I suggested this to you because I feel like I identify you with this era.
I love that because I identify with indie, and it's still a big part of me, and I think it's one of my favorite genres, if not the favorite genre of mine.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm really flattered, and I felt so special.
Well, yeah, I think one of the first time, I mean, I've known you for a while, but I feel like one of the first times you and I, like, quote unquote, bonded was at a New Year's party, and we were listening to the Rapture, Woo,
Rapture.
All Right, Oh Yeah.
Love them.
And there's a part in the song where it goes, people don't dance no more, they just stand there like this, cross their arms.
And stare you down, drink him out. Yeah.
And my wife and I, we were just dating at the time. We do a little dance to that, and people don't dance no more, they just stand there like this. And you did that, and it was almost like, I'm like, oh,
that was
like,
not planned either.
Yeah, it felt like,
just happened so naturally, and then we saw each other, and it was kind of just like a moment.
Yeah, it was like the choreography. It was like the unofficial choreography.
Unofficial, yeah.
So yeah, I always associate you with that song, and associate you with this era.
Yeah.
Just as a, you said this is like your favorite era, favorite genre. Like, what about this era just speaks to you?
I don't know. I think it's very broad. I want to say it's more of, I think maybe this is not even facts, but because I didn't do research on this. So I really feel I enjoyed a lot of 80s growing up and a lot of like older music. And I really want to say, to me, indie was birthed by the 80s. I think that's how it became. Maybe it's not, but I really hear like a lot of the synth in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of indie that's indie rock, indie pop, indie alternative. So I think it's just because it's very broad. I think that's why I love it. And I just identify with it because more than likely a lot of dance beats, and I just love to dance. Everyone that knows me knows that I love to dance. And I feel like that's just part of the reason why. I don't really know why, but it just makes me happy if like a lot of the songs that I hear, a lot of bands that are indie, I just love them. Most of them, really. Yeah. Even like the modern day, I guess you can call them modern day indie bands, I really enjoy them more than any other kind of genre, really.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned 80s because there is this kind of syncrasy of every 20 years, sounds kind of repeat themselves. Like 90s grunge is taken a lot from like 70s rock, and in a way it was almost like a reaction to it, but with the plaid and like the torn hole jeans, like that was very much a 70s style. 2000s kind of takes a lot because that's from the 80s, because you hear, like you said, like a lot of synths, the neon colors comes back. I mean, we're talking like post like Hillary Duff, Lizzie McGuire, like gold, like very neon colors.
The lights, the strobe lights, a lot of that.
So yeah, I think you're right in that it does kind of take from that. I mean, some of the people that we talk about are like kind of younger Gen Xers. Mm-hmm. So they're taking music from when they were kids and they're kind of turning it into their own thing. And yeah, it was a fun era. I was in college at the time. You were in high school at the time, right?
I was about to start college. Well, I kind of came across indie because of my sister, actually. So I want to say it kind of started right when I was moving over here in 2008, 2007. And then when I got into college or started college, I think that's when it really kind of like blew up, like going to the clubs and everything. And it had its moment for me. Definitely identify it too with starting college more. And yeah, I guess I got to give the credit to my sister too, because she put me on. I had no idea what these kind of bands were playing or who they were. And they had like crazy names, crazy songs too. And I just loved everything about it. So
what were some of the first bands you remember?
Like Cold War Kids, The Bravery. My cousin also put me on that. Trying to think. See, I don't really know because I know we're gonna talk about this a little later. Yeah. But I want to say Cold War Kids and The Bravery were one of the first ones. Block Party, for sure. Block Party was a big one for me.
It's so funny because like Block Party, I always joke about, I love Block Party, but I felt like in high school I wasn't cool enough to listen to them.
What do you mean?
I felt like those like, it was music that I felt like if I went to friends of friends are at a party and I was like, oh, you guys like Block Party, they just look at me like this little
what
poser.
Is this?
Yeah.
Really? That's crazy. Because when I was in high school, I had like my little, what do you call it, my iPod video. Yeah. And my friend, one of my best friends, he borrowed my iPod and he's just downloaded it. I was like looking up all my songs that I had. And he was like, this is such badass music. And I was like, man, you're just stealing all my music. And I was like one of those hipsters, like I liked it before it was cool. So yeah, he like, we bonded a lot over music and I just loved that. So I'm kind of really shocked that you're saying that. Like, what? I'm like, no, give me the aux, I'm playing that music.
I was also like 4 years ahead, like 4 or 5 years ahead of you.
That's right.
Yeah. So like,
wait, what class are you?
06.
Oh, okay. I'm 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like that's funny too, because Block Party is also kind of like the pipeline, because you see a lot of kids who got into like emo kind of transition to more like American Apparel, Urban Outfitter, yeah, you know. So like there is like this pipeline. I feel like Block Party was like the speedway to that, amongst other bands. Like the Bravery is another one too. Yeah. It's a cool era, and it's one of those like, it's cool because it's also like really cheesy and corny. Yeah. Like the millennial cringe of it all. Like
a little bit cringe. Well, it's a lot of bit cringe.
Yeah, everything
also
about
style about it.
Yeah,
everything.
For sure.
I was one of those American Apparel people. Like, why?
A lot of us were.
Why?
Yeah. I think. I mean, just looking back on it, obviously got like really satirized later, and it was one of those things where, especially like watching Girls, which I love, like some of my favorite TV shows of all time, but watching it real time, like satirizing millennial culture, and then taking it to the extreme with the pork pie hats and like suspenders, and like this is like on the precipice of like, what is it, boom clap, or not boom clap, but like the stomp clap songs, like Lumineers and stuff like that. Yeah,
and the moccasins, stop.
Yeah. I felt like we were all trying to look like 80s drug dealers at one point in our lives, like in this era.
Right. I want to say I'm proud that I never got the moccasins, but actually I'm wearing my American Apparel pants still, so I do still rock those. But yeah,
these are dope.
A lot of the outfits was kind of like, what was I thinking, or what was going on there? Yeah. But yeah, I do think about a lot of the neon, the glitter, the hair, oh god.
Yeah. What so we talked about this a little bit before we started. Like, what came into, like, you had a very big list and you had to narrow it down to 5 songs. Yeah. What was that process like? Like, what did you want to include? And
there was a lot, obviously, because it's just different. It's just broad, like I said. So I had to make a playlist on Spotify when you told me about this. And I was trying to like narrow it down and be like, okay, what do I have like the most connection with? Which are the songs that, there are songs that we love, and then you kind of like hear them and you like just skip them. Then you have your main songs where you kind of won't skip them. And I'm not sure if that's just me, but that's how I kind of narrowed it down to songs that I love that are in that era. I had a hard time too, because I know there's a lot of songs that I heard, or a lot of bands that I discovered that were not necessarily indie genre, but they just came about in that same time frame, Yeah. So I was kind of struggling with that to figure out, okay, like, is this really indie genre, or was it just coming in that same time frame when I was listening to it a lot? So that was my struggle too. So I had to do a playlist on Spotify and kind of narrow down that way. And I also had to figure out, or I guess incorporate the piece that kind of like ties into the songs, or whatever reason that I wanted to include them. But yeah, I had a very long list, and I thought about maybe I should make a list on Spotify of other songs that didn't make it, if anyone's interested in that. Probably not, but yeah, I'll make a Spotify playlist and make it public, and other songs that didn't make it into this playlist.
We can definitely link it too. Yeah,
yeah, we should link it. Yeah,
that's kind of like why I wanted to start this, because I think I've reached a point where, especially like, I'm a 37-year-old man on TikTok, and like I see a lot of this like quote unquote like elder emo like hashtag, and it's one of those things where like, yeah, I like that era, but I don't want that to define me. And a lot of these people get stuck in that, to where like they just listen to those bands.
Oh gosh.
And I want to like learn new stuff. I want to learn about like my blind spots.
I'm actually like that too, though. So that's one of my issues too, where I had to figure this out, because I have a habit of I'm just like that person that rewatches movies that like I've seen from years ago, or like I'll listen to the same songs, or have my same playlist that I stick to, and I'm like, man, I need to like listen to other music. So I definitely am probably one of those people.
I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just one of those things that I just didn't want to get stuck in that, because there's so much good music coming out now, and there's so much good music I missed out on. And I think a lot of like music taste is like a palette, where your palette changes over the years, and there's stuff that I like now that I just didn't get 20 years ago. And now like I've listened to enough bands that are similar, or were influenced by those bands, like, oh no, this makes sense now. Right. So the first song you have is "Walking on a Dream" by Empire to Sun, which is like solid, perfect way to start off.
I love that song.
This playlist.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say. I love it. That's why it's on here. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I feel like this is a song that I know it's like not an old song, but to me it has that very nostalgic feel. It sounds very like kind of retro-y. I guess it's kind of indie retro. I'm not sure what type of really genre it is for indie. But I think what pissed me off the most is that when they were coming up, I had no idea who they were. And my sister was like, hey, I got us tickets to see Empire of the Sun. And I was so excited. And I think it was in September too. And my birthday's in September. And I was like, this is perfect. And I was like getting excited. I was about to graduate high school. And I couldn't go because I had to do some camp for dance team. And I was so freaking pissed. I was like, I don't know if I can cuss.
Yeah.
Bleep it out. Okay, I was fucking pissed. And so I was very upset about that. And I really feel like that's a song that I also correlate to my first experience going to ACL. They were not there, obviously, because they were barely up and coming. But that was the first time I really heard the band. My sister was playing it, and I was like listening to it on repeat, like on my headphones. I'm sure we all do this. When we have a song we like, we just have it on repeat. Maybe. I hope I'm not just kind of like calling myself out. But yeah, I really feel like that's a song that just made me happy. I correlated to when I was going to, go to college. My sister was about to move to New York. So it was just a very kind of like emotional tie with like our first experience going to ACL together. She bought me a ticket to go to ACL. So that's also where it kind of really brought in more of my experience with discovering new bands or new artists. So I really feel like that song is just a song. Hey, Teddy.
He'll do that throughout the show.
A song that just kind of makes me really happy. And that's one of the songs that I can't ever skip. It's also just like my happy song.
Yeah.
Whenever I used to go clubbing back when I started college, that was also my song that I would go to on stage like a total weirdo. That was like the song. Like I'd be outside talking with my friends and I would just hear it and run inside and like go crawl or up the stairs and just run up there.
Yeah.
And I'd be just dancing up there, and I don't know why it was that song, but that was my song to go up to the stage with my friends. Like that, who does that? We did do that.
It's like an on switch, yeah.
Yeah, and I'd be like mid conversation outside, I'm like, that's my song, and I'm ready. Yeah, and my friend Ashley, she'd be like, every song's your song, but that was my song to go up on the stage.
It's it's definitely like kind of the epitome of this era, and it's something that I was like familiar with the song, but I didn't know like the band that well. And I always correlate them with, this came out in 2008, and it's just around the same time MGMT's first album came out. I have friends who say that MGMT totally jocked the style of Empire of the Sun.
Okay, that's what I thought too, and that's why I also love MGMT. But it is pretty close. I mean, Empire of the Sun, like.
Well, I mean, the first album at least for MGMT, because they definitely like went off to a different path after that. But like, they came out around the same time too, so I think it was just like great minds think alike type of thing. Oh, wow. And also I think that they were doing different types of drugs at the time. So I think Empire of the Sun is definitely, the theatrics of Empire of the Sun was a lot more kind of like acid coated. Yeah. Whereas MGMT was a little bit more like cocaine coated. I felt. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think like there's a song where they say that. I think it's like Time to Pretend. Maybe.
Yeah, they about heroin. And,
okay, maybe.
And Fuck with the Stars.
Yeah. Okay. I was something about this. Oh, the Empire of the Sun, they're coming, right?
Yeah, so, ACL, yeah.
So like now it's gotta come. I gotta go now to make up for this that happened years ago. I didn't get to go. It comes back full circle, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this album, like I said, came out in 2008. It took a while to really like make it big in the States. I mean, people who knew. Like, this was the blog era, so like if you're following the blog or if you're like following music that came from the blogs, like you knew about it back then. But it wasn't until like 2016. It took to 2016 for it to chart in the US because it was in a commercial. And I feel like, I hate to like, it's not derogatory to say like this is like car commercial music, but it's totally like car commercial music has evolved into like what this was now. But they're interesting guys. I mean, they're from Australia. That whole scene from like the 2005, the mid 2000s to like when this first came out was very like, when you look back on it, you had like Tame Impala was starting up. You've got guys, they were in two different bands, one called the Sleepy Jackson and the other was called Panal. That's how they kind of came together. Yeah. So that whole Australian scene was really interesting because they were kind of ahead of the curve.
Yeah. They were ahead of their time.
Yeah. Before they came over to like the States. Do you remember like the first time hearing the song or around the first time hearing the song?
No, I want to say it was definitely when I was going to ACL around that time, which was 2010. It was right before I graduated. So it had to be around 2010 or that year, 2010.
I mean, I think that this this era is just so interesting. I can't remember the first time I heard it. I was living in Austin.
Yeah.
I was living in Austin at the time. I went to UT from '06 to 2010. So like it was great to be there during this time. Like I mentioned about Block Party, this is another band I probably felt like I wasn't cool enough to like listen to, but I was still there like adjacently. What do you have any particular? I know you mentioned ACL going there. Do you have particular memories that are associated with this song or the band?
Just memories of I guess going to ACL was my first experience there. Actually, my only experience, my own first and only experience. And just basically the kind of my sister kind of really starting off the whole, I want to call it like my journey to, to listening to indie music. Obviously there was a lot of songs before a lot of bands, but I feel like I just correlated to like a moment of like me transitioning to like going to college, starting off into that whole, I want to call it party scene, the clubbing scene. I don't really have anything else specific that was more like different from that. So no. Oh shoot. Teddy.
He's good. No, that's cool. I think that with this band, I mean, we talked about the car commercials, but when I hear this song, it reminds me a lot of like early Phoenix, like 2002, 2003 era Phoenix. Like I can't even remember the song, but they have
1901.
No, before that, like from the United album, they had songs on like the Shallow Hal soundtrack, which is weird. Like
Shallow Hal.
It was like the movie with Jack Black. Yeah. Okay. If you go back, that soundtrack is dope. It's
really?
So good. Yeah.
That's an old movie though.
Yeah. 2002 is when their first, I don't think it was their first or second album, United, came out. But the beat to, what is the song? I gotta remember it, but there is a Phoenix song. It reminds me a lot of that. So it's kind of fun to see these different types of bands from different parts of the world. I mean, Phoenix is from France, of course, like that kind of are making similar sounds, but kind of making it their own without like jockeying each other's style.
Right. Actually, Phoenix came out with a new song that I'm totally obsessed with, and I thought they were just done. And I'll put it on my playlist. I think it's called Winter Solstice, and I'm obsessed with that song. But I completely forgot about Phoenix up until when this song came out. But I had no idea they were from France or that they were in Shallow.
So the guy, I think it's the lead singer, I can't remember his name. He was in a band with Daft Punk before they were Daft Punk. Yeah, I learned this recently.
What?
Yeah, there's just so much, and people would say it like it's ancestral because these bands are starting bands with their friends.
Yeah.
But I think it's just so like these trees, there's these trees of different groups that all derive from like similar groups or like similar scenes, and and we talked about Australia, but like France is crazy. Like, yeah, I can't remember if it was Daft Punk or Justice. I'm pretty sure it was Daft Punk.
That's crazy.
Maybe it was Justice.
Yeah.
This is the other French
fact
duo.
check real quick.
Yeah, we need a fact checker on here. But it is one of those two. But yeah, I think that, I mean, those are two very different styles, but also within the same vein of this whole like indie sleaze era. When it comes to like dance music, I mean, this is obviously a little bit more chill, a little bit more like it's upbeat, but also like
it's not too dancey.
Yeah,
it's not too clubby,
but still danceable.
It's still dance. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's not clubby, but it is. I don't know. I feel like it just has like a good beat. I don't know how to explain it, but it's definitely not like electro type or more of like that type of scene that's indie, but it's more electro. Like I don't know how to explain it. It has a different vibe, but it's dancey still, and it's happy to me. That's how I used to see it. It's a
kind of like
song.
when you put TV shows on for the background, like it's a good combination of like background music, but also like it can also be the feature. So yeah, it's kind of interesting how it fits in there. They mentioned they were really influenced as far as their like whole getup and stuff by this 1973 movie called The Holy Mountain, which is also a movie that MGMT and Santigold like reference a lot. So it's funny to see like I don't think any of them know each other, but the fact that they're like pulling stuff, and that's like an obscure movie.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that movie.
Yeah, it's crazy that like all these different artists and groups were pulling from the same influences at the same time. And it's one of those things that like I always joke about how like we live in a simulation, but sometimes it really feels that way where things just kind of get smaller through the universal.
That's crazy, but what's this called? The Holy Mountain?
The Holy Mountain.
The Holy Mountain.
There's two movies. There's one from the 20s. They're referencing the one from the 70s.
Now I need to watch it.
It's really crazy. Like it's just.
You watched it?
No, I know about it, and like the visuals are very like it's very like bright, and when you see it, it like it just totally makes sense that they would be inspired by it. The song itself is about like falling in love. It's like such a like. For as much as their theatrics are with the song itself and their performance, like it's a pretty like standard love song, like "Walking on a Dream." Like that's what it feels like to fall in love.
I never even thought of that.
Yeah,
I never even thought of that. To me, it's just flowy. To me, that's how I can describe it. But actually, I'm always the type of person that tries to read the lyrics and understand what the song's about. But this is one I never even considered. I just thought it was very like I don't know, dreamy.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too. Like when looking it up, I didn't even think about that either. Like I'm really bad with interpreting lyrics unless they're very obvious. And this is obvious, but I just never took the time to like really look at it. Yeah, that's how I feel.
I'm like, damn.
You're too busy grooving to
I'm too busy up there dancing.
Yeah.
And for real, I'm just like, I'm flowing.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a great pick. I was really excited to kind of talk about it. Is there anything else you want to add about the band or the song?
No, I mean, there's a lot of songs that I love, and I want to say there's a few that I've noticed because I don't listen to them like in the order that they are in the track list, but I do love that they're the type of band that kind of match the end of the song onto like the next coming song. And I've noticed that with one of the songs. I forgot what song it was. I think it's "We Are the People" or one of the other ones.
Yeah,
I think it's coming back from or it's ending from another one. I don't know, but they do that, and I really love that. As far as the song goes, there's nothing much I really want to add to it. I just love it. It's just my number one favorite song right from that era.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of other songs, but yeah, it's more
just about like DJ culture in general. I love when there's like seamless transitions from one track to another, especially when there's like a hard transition.
Yeah.
This is a hard transition to the next song because it's very different. You chose "Oblivion" by Grimes.
Oh yeah.
What made you decide to put this song on here?
I don't know. Okay, so I just really love this song because it goes back to also when I used to go to the specific club, which I'm pretty sure a lot of us or anybody that's listening to this that used to go. I'm not sure if you ever went to this club where they had that like indie versus 80s, which is why I also I guess correlated a lot with 80s probably because of that. They used to do this event or this night on Thursdays, and I would always try to find this type of music, and it was very hard because I would have to go to like the Bonham or like other places. They're playing like the mainstream, and like there was a bunch of floors there I think to dance, but they weren't playing the stuff that I wanted to listen to, which was this type of music. And I guess like I'm an old soul because I really like a lot of old stuff like 50s doo-wop, 60s, 70s, I like all of it. And to me, I was kind of more of like trying to figure out where they were playing this kind of music. And my mom ended up going to this place.
Oh yeah.
Not when I was there, thank God, but she was there. And then she had, I had heard that she was telling her friend or her boyfriend, she was like, "Oh my God, my daughters would love this place. Like the music they're playing, this is what my daughters listen to." So she knew the songs because we played them. So she told me about it. And then somebody else was talking about it like on Twitter back when it was the thing to do and how we would all communicate. And I think I was just like tagging like a bunch of people, like Zach was one of them. I'm not sure if I knew you at that time, but Wayne, all of them. So we would all go, and they were playing the DJ at the time that was doing this, I guess, versus 80s indie. He was playing Oblivion by Grimes, and I had never seen Grimes. I liked her style. It was very much Indie Sleaze with the pink hair and like making no sense pretty much. And her voice and her tone was just so different. And I picked it because I don't even know how I did this. I don't even know if it was on Reddit, but I was just like trying to Google, like describing what she was wearing and trying to figure out like, I don't even know what the song was saying. Cause I think I heard it like once or twice and I was just like obsessed. And I'm not sure if Shazam, I'm pretty sure it was a thing back then, but I couldn't get it or something. I couldn't get it to like connect if that was Shazam back in the day or
like pre-LTE.
I don't know what it was.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but I just remember I was trying to type it in and I somehow found the freaking song. I don't know how I found it, but I found the video. I'm like, oh my God. So I found it and they were going to come to, or she was going to come to Austin. So this was like my first experience going to Austin for like a show with my friends by myself, like not without my sister or anybody else. And my friend, this was just terrible because my friend, it was a great time, like going there and like, you're pre-gaming, you're like listening to the album and we're all excited. And my friend just, went a little too far drinking and she was having a whole meltdown. So I had to leave the concerts. I feel like a lot of these things are kind of negative now that I'm thinking about it. But I had to leave to go get her because she was having a whole meltdown outside. I'm not sure if it was because she was just like having like a heartbreak situation. So I feel like with the time when we were going to Austin, we were all like pumped and happy, and it was just like finally we're gonna see Grimes because she's from the UK, I think.
She's from Canada.
So to us, it was like, oh my God, they're coming to Austin. It was like back, when like a band's barely starting off, you had to see them for like $20, and now you see them for like, I don't know, triple, quadruple that.
Ticketmaster fees and stuff. Yeah.
So because we knew like she's gonna blow up or it's just gonna become like a thing. So yeah, we went and I had to go outside and deal with that situation with my friend. So I don't know how it shifted from all of us being all happy, and then she just got too drunk, and then this whole maybe fight with her boyfriend, I think it was. And I literally had to leave to go get her. Missed pretty much the whole set of Grimes, and I came into the very end just to catch Oblivion.
Oh yeah.
And thank God I made that, but it was just, to me, like, I don't know, just going to Austin and having that experience, and then it going to shit immediately. Like right when we get to the venue, I was like, girl, what's going on? Like I can't do this right now, but I mean, at the same time, I was the one that's going there with her, so I was kind of like, I gotta take care of her, which is fine, I don't mind that, but it's just like, dude, this is never gonna happen again. Like, I'm gonna see Grimes. So rites
of passage though. I feel like we've all been her, and then we've all like had that experience with a friend. Like
but I mean, it was amazing though. It's just being able to catch like the end of it. I mean, that's all I was able to catch. But seeing Grimes is crazy because honestly, I feel like her voice range, like how she sings, it's just so, I don't know, very also dream poppy, very harmonic. So seeing it live, it was pretty cool because she actually did that. And then she did her, I don't know, she plays the piano or the keyboard. Yeah. So I was wondering too, I was like, man, how's she going to pull that off like at a show? Because a lot of people have like their backing vocals, things like that. So I'm pretty sure she probably included that too, but it just sounded really nice. So I was kind of like upset, but I was like, okay, I'm happy. Like it's Grimes and she sounds all nice. So yeah, that was my experience with Grimes. But the main thing was, I guess, I was proud that I was able to find that song and Googling it and somehow doing my FBI research. And, like, we're hardcore detective, just like looking it up, and I was able to pull the song. Like, I don't know, it was just a moment for me.
She's interesting because she produces all of her tracks, and she
know that.
Yeah, she is Grimes like too, and she has a band sometimes now, especially. But she produces. I think she engineers her own tracks. I think her whole mindset was that if she got a guy to engineer it, there'd be guys in the Reddit or Tumblr comments saying, oh, well, the guy did all the work. Like, he's the one who made the song. So she was very adamant about being the sole person. And Oblivion's interesting just because, real quick, was that Industry? Was the club that you're talking about? Yeah, I've been Industry.
Were you there with him? I don't know.
Probably not. I was there for the 25-cent Wells.
It was 75 cents. Oh, 25. There was 75 cents.
Maybe it was 75.
Hold on. Yeah. No, there was 75 cents.
Either way, it's still crazy.
It was, dude. Those days. You were there. I didn't know you were there.
I don't know if it was those nights, but I definitely, like, Thursdays was like, we would go to get drunk off $10.
Dude, it was crazy. Like, looking back, I'm just like, oh my God. Like, we're blessed. Cause dude, I was just like, I should not have been there, first of all.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, I mean, I'm my sister's ID, but whatever. But people, including me, like, we'd get trashed, like, so easy, like, super cheap. But that was like the thing. So I was like always like tagging everybody, like, let's all go tonight. And then we'd all go, just pull up a bunch of people. But also too, I feel like the thing that really like resonates with me with that song is the lyrics. It's just very like powerful to me. Yeah. It's super, I don't know, just very loud. And it was a thing where back then I was just like, oh yeah, I'm just dancing. It's a cool song and it's all great vibes and all. But then I was like, it gets deeper and kind of darker with what she's saying, but like not in a bad way. And to me, it kind of like spoke a lot because it's just, people don't really put that out there.
Yeah, I mean, so the song's about like sexual assault, an experience that she had, and she wanted to put like, not to make it happy, but she wanted to put like a positive spin in the way it sounded to like kind of bring out that more. It's kind of like not owning it, but like as like owning who she is now and not letting that like affect her. And have you seen the music video?
Okay, I was about to bring that up too. Like the music video, like I was trying to have a hard time, I was trying to decode it, but I was having a hard time because I was kind of like confused with like the scenes with like the football players and like they're just, I don't know what's going on.
So she's purposely in very like masculine settings and she's just like dainty, woman.
Perfect.
And she's like, she's lip syncing and she's placating to you. It's like part of it is people talk about, and this is an interpretation. I don't know how intentional this was, but people talk about how there is like a female gaze for the males in there. Like they're all shirts, you know, are off and they're like doing fratty stuff.
Like, are they wearing just like towels or something?
Yeah. At one point, I think she's in like a locker room, and then like the mosh pit is, I think, at her parents' house maybe, and it's her brother's friends, her brother and his friends, and they're doing like, you know, mosh pit stuff, and then they're at like a like dirt bike competition, and then a football game. It's all very like masculine stuff, and she's like at the center of it, so it's like kind of like taking the power from these masculine.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a really cool like story behind it, and it's something I probably would have like noticed certain details about it, but like reading into it, like knowing that now, it kind of changes how you look at it.
Yeah. Wow. See, that's what I was confused about, because I was like, okay, there was like all these guys here and there. Yeah, definitely very different settings, but with all men, I was okay. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So she was asked about the music video, and there's a really good quote she had in Spin article where she's like, "I was interested in the Japanese archetype of a female protagonist who is very small and very cute and very physically powerful. You don't see that archetype in America too much, but in Japanese culture, there are female characters who can embody this girl uniform and still cut someo's head off with a sword." And that's what she was. Yeah. And I think she nailed it. I think that's exactly like, it's not like, she's still portraying like quote unquote like feminine like archetypes. Energy. Yeah. Energy. Exactly. While still being just like presence. Yeah. And they filmed a lot of that stuff without like a permit, so a lot of this stuff is like, that's why you see people like walking
just
by.
Go.
Yeah,
they're trying to walk, and she's like, just go ahead.
Yeah, and she's just like owning the stage. That's why she has headphones on too, because she couldn't hear anything. They didn't have a permit to like film, so she's literally listening to
her
it.
song, and she's okay, cool,
because she couldn't hear it on the speaker.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is all through an interview that you found that out? Or?
That was this Spin interview. There's a few interviews where she talks about it, and the director of the music video talks about it a lot too. And I think also the way it's filmed, it's very like, it feels like a documentary. The type of film, it's not like super like HD. I mean, this is a time where HD was available. It is a little grainy, so it does feel like film. It does feel like you are kind of a spectator. So I think everything with that all just comes together.
I think it just makes it better. I think so. It's authentic-ish.
I saw her at Fun Fest in either 2012 or 2014. I can't remember. I don't remember like specific song moments or anything, because I wasn't like into her. I just knew her, and I had time to kill before the bands I wanted to see. And I wasn't on drugs at all. I didn't do those types of drugs or anything, but I felt like I was. And it was
really? That's awesome.
Lots of like neon. It was at night too, so it was like one of the first, like right as like sundown hit, like the sun just disappeared. So I remember it being very like neon, a lot of like ultraviolet colors, and just being there, like it was like being in the music, right? As opposed to just listening to it.
You are the music.
Yeah, essentially. Like it felt like synesthesia. Like I was like they were making music out of me, you know?
That's amazing.
But she's great. She's really interesting. Just from a musical standpoint. From a personal standpoint, she's very interesting too. Yeah. Have you seen interviews with her?
No, but I know is she still with Elon Musk?
No,
I mean,
they divorced a while ago.
Good. Even I was just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, so, but she, like, even before that, like, I've seen interviews, like her Nardwuar interview, she's kind of like, she's spacey and kind of like all over the place, and people comment like, are you familiar with Nardwuar?
No.
So he's like this really eccentric interviewer, does like amazing research, and he wears like plaid, and like he's very noisy with his clothes, and he's kind of a weird guy. His name is Nardwuar. That's this chosen name. And someone mentioned like they cancel each other's weird out. Like it was a very like normal interview. It was very informative, and like it's very like Nardwuar does his thing, but it also just felt like it wasn't as weird as you would have expected him interview with Grimes to be, because of their energies kind of just
together.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I always associate her like with Elon Musk and their weird baby name.
I don't even know. It's like a number or something.
Yeah. It's like XA8 or Alpha 8 or something. But I always associate her too with the whole Azalea Banks thing. Are you familiar with that situation?
No.
So Azalea Banks is very problematic, and I know this, but she's also like I feel like everyone should have a problematic like favorite pass, and there are some people that shouldn't qualify for that. I feel like Azalea Banks is very, like she's said, very like derogatory things about people and different marginalized communities, but she's also celebrated those marginalized communities too. So it's like, I mean, she's not a great person, but I'm also like very attracted to her too. So that doesn't help. She and Grimes had hit her up when she was dating or married to Elon, and they were going to do a track together. She invited her to their house, and Elon Musk was going through some issues with some investors for, I don't know what, one of his projects. And Grimes had to like attend to him. So Azalea Banks was stuck in this like mansion by herself for like a week. And it became this huge thing where like she had mentioned it like on Twitter, and then Grimes like denied it. Elon Musk said, "Oh, I never met you," which is a lie. And she like posted their text chain to each other, their DMs to each other, and it just became this whole big thing. And it's one of those things that like I started going into like the rabbit hole. And if you really want to like check it out, it's worth it. But also, we don't have enough time on this podcast to go over all of it.
To go that deep into it.
But yeah,
I never heard about that. No. So
yeah.
So now are they not friends? Or like?
I don't know. It's weird. Like it's kind of adversarial. Like they Grimes talks very supportive of her. Like she thinks she's a genius, and she like, and it feels like Azalea Banks is kind of like she feels a way musically about Grimes, but I don't think they're like inviting each other out for brunch or anything. You know.
Yeah.
But so yeah, like on that note of like problematic people, the next pick you have is Crystal Castles. And Crystal Castles is like every one of these bands are bands that I'm not cool enough to listen to, even though I like this.
Yeah.
I picked Crime Wave by Crystal Castles.
Crime Wave, yeah. So I love Crystal Castles, and I associate Crystal Castles a lot with my hometown. I'm from El Paso. So this was a time where, I was kind of more... how can you say this without me sounding like I'm terrible? Just like, like I was just skipping school and just, I don't know, just kind of just getting in trouble, I guess you could say.
You were just a high school kid.
I was just a high schooler living my normal high school life.
Do, yeah.
Just trying, yeah. But I came across Crystal Castles. I forgot who at the time. I want to say it was a classmate for sure. I think the very first song I ever heard by Crystal Castles was Magic Spells, and this album here, I don't even know what it's called anymore. I forgot. But the one that Crime Wave is on. Yeah,
it's either self-titled or Crystal Castles 1 or just one.
Just one, yeah.
It's a compilation.
But yeah, this is like, I had to pick Crime Wave because that was a song that I guess I discovered right after Magic Spells. Because when I heard Magic Spells, I was just all like tripping. I was like, oh, this is vibe. This is cool. And it was also right before I moved here, but I was like trying to figure out too if this was gonna go under the genre of indie, or is like indie synth electro dance. What is it? But I correlated with indie, the vibe or the era for me. But the song specifically, because it was more different from Magic Spells. If you guys hear Magic Spells, it's a lot more slower, a little like repeated little beat going on. And I mean, a lot of their songs are kind of like that, but Crime Wave was more different with like the little, like, I don't know, robotic sounds, a little I'm not sure if I did that properly, but and it was so crazy too, because this was like the guy that showed me this band. Pretty much I didn't really know him that well, and when I first moved here to San Antonio, a lot of people didn't know this type of music, or I didn't know anybody at the time that listened to this music a lot. And it just so happened that I was in my chemistry class, and there was this other guy. His name was Cody, and he was just like a very cool guy that like I know a lot of us know. I'm pretty sure Zach knows him because he actually lives in this neighborhood, or used to in this neighborhood. And he was just very likable, and I thought he was so cool because he was gay, and he was just playing like this, like, was it the cello, like that big instrument?
Cello or the bass, yeah.
Yeah, it's his cello.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, this guy's so badass. And like, I want to be his friend. I'm like, I don't have any friends. But I could tell that he listened to good music because like he would post it on his MySpace at the time. I think it was MySpace or Facebook. And I was coming back from lunch in 11th grade when I had already moved here. And I was by myself walking back up to the dance hall, and he like drove by with two other girls that I was familiar with, but I didn't really know them, but they were his best friends. And he was like, get in the car. And I was like, I have to go back to class. But I was like, well, this guy's cool and I want to be his friend. And like, I don't have any friends. And he was like blasting, like, I remember it was like I think it was Passion Pit or something. And I was like, oh, like I want to go. So I literally didn't go to my class, and I just like got in the car. I don't even know him like that. Like we would just see each other in passing, but like never even like a hi. So I was kind of like, this is very stupid. Like, what am I doing? Where are we going? Like I was all freaking out. But he started playing Crime Wave, and I was like, oh my God. Like, it was just crazy because it's like going back to how I had met that person back in my hometown that introduced me to this band, and then this person that just came out of nowhere. To me, I just tied it into like a moment of, meeting potentially like my friend group that became like my friend group eventually.
Yeah.
So I really feel like, I don't know, I correlate Crime Wave and Crystal Castles to that type of situation, which were very much similar, I guess, and that's the type of what happened with that guy and then this guy. So that's why I chose Crystal Castles and Crime Wave, and I'm just a person that loves Crystal Castles. I actually saw Crystal Castles in Austin. That was scary for me.
Yeah, I heard their shows are crazy.
I didn't know what to expect. I should have known that was going to be kind of crazy. And it was on Halloween night.
Oh, really?
In Austin at Stubbs.
Was this 2012?
Yeah, I think so.
I have a friend that was at that show.
I think it was when she had the ice cream or something.
I don't know. He just said that he Alice's butt like hit his face. Like she was out in the crowd, like crowd surfing.
Yeah, she's pretty crazy. Or I want to say she's just wild, or she was. I'm not sure if she's still like doing music right now. But I just remember at the time I was definitely scared. Because I was going to Austin with my sister, and I think it was like 2 of her friends. Everyone was dressed up, and I was just all paranoid. And they just started playing the music, and then all the strobe lights everywhere. So I was kind of like, this is not fun. Like, it was fun until it wasn't, because I started seeing everybody with their like masks and their crazy outfits and their face painting, and I lost my sister, and then it was crazy. But I think also too, I want to say Alice had like white contacts or something. She just looks crazy.
Yeah.
Like, she's scary. She looks scary sometimes. And I want to say this was the time where she had ice cream and she was like throwing it at the crowd.
Oh, really?
I really want to say it was this time, because I don't know, I saw her twice, but there was this other club that I would always like frequent, and it came after Industry, and I was trying to figure out or suggest different people to bring, like to do DJ sets, like Neon Indian was one of them, and I was like, we need to bring Alex Glass to do like a DJ set, and they were like, fuck no, like that chick's gonna freaking like she's gonna do something, like no, fuck that. Like I don't want that responsibility.
I feel like she's like a prototype for like what Dion Toward became. Like,
oh my God, I forgot about them.
Yeah, I feel like they saw her and they were at the same time, of course, but like I feel like they saw her. They're like, bet we can do like we're 100 times worse than that.
We're going more fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you think that's crazy? Bet.
Yeah. Hold my beer. Or hold my. Whatever.
Oh, Teddy.
Yeah.
Oh, Teddy.
They're South African, not Australian.
I forgot about them. They're crazy too.
Yeah.
Aren't they like brother and sister?
No.
Okay.
I don't think they were. No, I think they were like dating. All I know, like the last thing I heard about them is Danny Brown went on tour with them, and Danny Brown.
Who's Danny Brown?
He's a rapper. He's a very weird rapper. G Unit kicked him out. He's from Detroit. He was in G Unit for a second, and they kicked him out because he wore like girl pants, and they painted his nails. They thought he was just too weird for them. This was like in 06, 07. Yeah. So he's got a very funny voice. He just talks very high pitched, and he was just talking about how, I forgot her name, but the girl and Diane Toward was like hitting on him. And then the guy started hitting on it. He's like, oh, they want to have like a threesome with me. And he's like, I'm not down with that. So but they're crazy. And I feel like Alice Glass, like now that you mentioned like the eyes, I'm like, oh yeah, she definitely was.
She had like the short black hair, and she would do like her eyes like all black with the contacts, and like I think her lips were like all red. Yeah. It's just like, it doesn't sound as scary, but in the moment, I was in the state I was in, I was like, no.
Yeah. I mean, they brought this kind of like witchy, like is like witchy goth to like, and it's industrial. I mean, like they are like big in like the electroclash movement in general, and it's so funny because that electroclash is such a spectrum. I like bands like oh my god, what are their names? There's like Japanther, and there's this other band from Australia that are very like on the punk end of like kind of electroclash. I wouldn't call them electroclash exactly. And then there's this, it's like more industrial. The first album was made using a broken Atari. That's why those robotic sounds.
Shut up.
So it was
awesome.
Like kind of like chiptune-ish. Yeah, I don't know if anyone would like say that they're full on chiptune, because like goth chiptune is what people would describe them as. But yeah, they bring these weird sounds. It's like for the most part of her word, like vocals are like ineligible. You can't like hear them
right.
or inlegible. That's writing. I don't know. You can't hear them. You can't hear what she's saying.
They're inaudible.
Unintelligible was the word I was thinking. Yeah. Crime Wave's so interesting too, because did you ever get into like Debbie Deb?
I I don't really listen to Debbie Dub, but I know that she sings that one song that I like.
When
I hear music.
Yeah. So that's like from the like 90s and 80s, and like that I hear Crime Wave, and it just like the first like 10 seconds, I'm like, oh, this is like Debbie Dub inspired.
Because I was just talking about that song the other day.
This is like skate rink ass like Southside music. Yeah, it was all about in the like 90s.
I was gonna say too on Magic Spells. Now you brought up like with how it's hard to kind of differentiate what she's saying, or I honestly didn't really know what she was saying, or if it was like somebody else. But I think it was Magic Spells when I was talking about first. I was watching somebody was watching a movie, and it was like a very old movie. It was like very space like. Never heard of this movie. I have to like look it up. And there's a part in the song where she says, "Don't worry, dear Pamela, like I'll do my scientific best." And I thought that was like Alice talking, but I guess they pick up. Yeah. Maybe it was just that song, but they pick up parts of it, like other stuff.
Different samples and stuff. Yeah.
So that's the only part that I understood what she was saying, because it was like not her. It was just from a movie.
Well, they got their name from like a She-Ra cartoon. She-Ra is like, it's like, remember that. This is where I'm old. Thundercats, like it was like a Saturday morning cartoon. She-Ra was like He-Man kind of, but they were like, I guess, just hanging out watching this cartoon, and there's a part where they mentioned Crystal Castles, and like, oh, that's a good band name. But it's
a cool name.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
I mean, they're just like musically, like just the aesthetic is just so like.
I think it does fit their aesthetic. Like, a lot.
Oh yeah. And the whole like the goth aspect of things. I mean, their second album cover is a little girl in a graveyard with like death makeup, like deathcore makeup and stuff. But I mean, it's. I mentioned in the beginning like that they are problematic because Ethan Kath, the guy who does this with or started the band with Alice, she accused him of. There's some allegations against him, and there's 4 other women. She was 15 and he was 25 when they met. She had like run away, and then he would like stalk her at her high school. When they were a band, he took her phone away from her. He like took her passport when they were like touring over. It was really bad. Holy shit. Yeah, it's a lot of manipulation, a lot of assault, and it's stuff that's kind of ongoing. And it's hard. I think for a while when she went solo, she had asked for not like for their discography not to be celebrated. I think she still plays some of their songs now. Yeah. So I think she's kind of come around to at least embracing, because she was a part of those songs, and she was like part of the reason why they were so successful. But I always associate them with the song Vanished or Vanishing.
That was going to be my song though.
Yeah, that one.
I love that song.
It's hard not to like, it's so funny because I hear like later yeahs, and I hear like, oh, they were probably listening to Crystal Castles when they were doing this, so that fits like the mood. And I feel like both, I mean, Crime Wave too. Crime Wave is just like, it's unfuckable, like it's so weird. And they talk about how they were trying to like make abrasive noise is what they like, the quote is. And
is Vanished on that album?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I want to say it's the first track, but it might not be. But it really gets it going. And then like Crime Wave is such a like acquired taste too.
It is.
The first time I heard it, I was like, what the fuck is this?
That's also too why I love it, because it's just so weird.
Yeah.
My mom loves a lot of the music we play, but that one she's kind of more like, fuck. But like, if I play Vanish or Liberty to Uncover or something else, like then she's like, oh hey, I could dance this. But Crime Wave, a lot of people are like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. Like, yeah, there's like a bunch of other people too where they weren't cool enough to listen to it. How about that?
I think sometimes I always like to think about like music listening is a lot like a video game or like a role playing game where you have to like, you're not big enough. You haven't gotten enough stats to like listen to this song and get it. Yeah. Yeah. You have to like, in order to get into this, you have to like listen to Anamanaguchi first. You need to listen to this later stuff first. And then you can go back and like, oh, this makes sense now.
You earned your strength.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're not tall enough to ride the roller coaster yet. You have to wait. You have to like get some height in there first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep. Makes sense.
So for something completely different, you chose Young Folks by Peter, Bjorn, and John. This is another song. It's like the epitome of the era.
Yeah.
And they're like considered like a one-hit wonder.
Yeah. I feel like this is more of like indie, like, I don't know. This is like totally different from
indie pop. But it's all within the spectrum of like indie sleaze. Like it wasn't just like one sound. It was like the whole like in rapping era of it.
So I love this song because it was also one of the first songs that came about when I was, listening to indie, and I was still in El Paso before I moved here. And it's gonna sound so silly, but this was actually the very, very, very first time I went to Austin. Oh, yeah. So actually, there are a lot of them tied into Austin, right? I moved to Austin. You live in Austin. So, okay, so where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so it was my first time I went to Austin, and again, my sister, she was like, "Let's go see Peter, Bjorn, and John." I only knew this one song, which was "Young Folks," and I liked it a lot. I think it has a lot to do with that little whistle, the little part. It's very, catchy. So first I went to Austin, and then right before the show was gonna start, I didn't know any of the songs, didn't know who was an open or anything. I never even been to like an actual like show like that. So we went to go eat dinner at this place beforehand just to kill time because we got there early. And this is like the weirdest thing, which is this is what it correlated to. It's gonna sound crazy, but it's fried pickles. It's fried pickles. So we go to this restaurant and we're killing time, and we're just chilling. So the waiter comes, he's gonna ask us, or he's asking us, like, do you want to get an appetizer? Do you guys want to drink? And we like, say anything for the appetizer. We're like, no, we just want this food. He's like, you should really try the fried pickles. And I was like, fried pickles? And he was like, yeah. I'm like the pickles are fried. Like, I've never had fried pickles. Okay, this was like, how old was I at this point? I don't even know, like 15, 16. So he was like, trust me, like, this will change your life. Like, trust me, they're delicious. And I was like, I don't really want fried pickles. That just doesn't sound right. And I'm a pickle person. I like pickles, but like never had fried pickles in my life. So my sister and I looked at each other. We kind of give a look at each other like, all right, let's just try the fucking pickles. So we get the pickles. He brings the fried pickles. They're like the spears, not the little chips, because I don't like the chips. And I think it has to do with trying them as the spears. So we tried the fried pickles. Life changing. I love fried pickles. Changed my whole life. I was so happy to have fried pickles. First experience going to Austin. I correlated to having fried pickles, going to see Peter, Bjorn, and John. It just so happens too that there was another band at the time that I was listening to because of my sister. I think they're El Perro del Mar. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of them. They're very underground, or I'm not sure if they even play music anymore. But it was kind of like killing two birds with one stone because they were opening up for Peter, Bjorn, and John. So I was like, oh, I know this song. I've heard it before. So, and I forgot her name, but she's really amazing. She has like a lot of songs that I like. But when we went to go see Peter, Bjorn, and John, it was in a very small place. It wasn't even like Stubbs or any like big venue like that. It was like super low key, and the room was definitely small. And it was not a lot of people. So afterwards, I think my sister and I were saying that it was like her birthday because we really wanted to meet them and like get an autograph. And we were just like lying. I don't know. I think my sister was the one that got called out or something. Yeah, like it's very freaking random and weird. But I correlated to my first experience going to Austin, having fried pickles for the first time, and being able to like kind of joke with the band afterwards because it kind of felt intimate because it was just super quiet afterwards, like it wasn't anything going on. And I want to say it was like a really, really small place. I can't think of where it was, but it felt really cool to be able to like talk to them and joke with them once my sister got called out that it wasn't her birthday. But like they were like, it felt like, okay, like here's like people that like are famous, and it's before they hit their big, I guess, moment with getting bigger. So we kind of had like that one-on-one. It was my first experience, like, going to Austin, and I was like, okay, we went to see this band, and now we're talking to them. Like now we're just laughing with them. Like we're just joking around, and it was really cool because they're just like, I forget, like they're like normal people too.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I'm all starstruck, and then you have a moment where they're normal people, I guess.
Yeah,
but
so this is like their third album, and had this song not hit, they were ready to quit.
That was their third album.
Yeah,
the Writer's Block.
Yeah, yeah. So like it came out in 2006. First two albums were flops, and their second album they went really big with like the production. And it flopped, and they're Swedish, so like in Sweden, like they didn't get any traction. They said, "Fuck it, we're just gonna do our home studio. We're not gonna spend a lot of money on this album. If it flops, we're done. We're gonna just do our like normal, day-to-day jobs." And then this just blows up. The whistling you mentioned, so like it's funny because that was supposed to be filler. They were gonna put like an organ or like a keyboard or something, and then so Bjorn, I think he's the bassist. He like did most of the beginning of the music, and he whistled. He was wanting to do like kind of like a jazzy type of like piano, I think because Peter was like, oh, like I like the whistling, we should just keep it in. So like that's how everything just kind of like snowballed from there. It's just so crazy like listening to how they wrote this song because it is pretty basic in terms of like I think it's like 5 or 6 tracks. They wanted it to be a duet, so they got the woman they got. Her name is Victoria Bregman. She's from a band called The Concretes. They had covered one of the Concrete songs on their second album. And they were like, we can't get Victoria. She'd be perfect for this, but we can't get her. And then finally they said, fuck it, we'll just get her. Like, no one listened to our second album anyway. And she's perfect for it. Yeah. She has this very like, it's very like monotone, but it's very like sweet sounding. And it just pairs perfectly with the vocals.
Yeah, it was very monotone. And that's funny because so that girl that, I guess, Victoria, she's the one that does that part. She wasn't there, obviously. So they had that girl from the other band that was opening up for them fill in that part. So it was really cool to see that too. So I was like, oh my God, like I love this band and I love her voice. Because I was wondering too, I was like, okay, was it her all along? But I was like, no, there's no way because their voices are totally different. But that's crazy. I didn't know that.
So when they did, initially they recorded it and they had her in mind. They finally decided we're going to ask her. She said yes. They recorded it and it was too low for her like register. Yeah. So they went in and they like tuned it up. And when they tuned it up, it made it like really hard for the singer to whistle. So like they went on tour with Kanye because they did so random. Yeah. So this is another thing I wanted to bring up too because this was the era when like rappers really got into indie rock.
Yes.
And that's like kind of the epitome of like that part of the Indie Sleaze, you know, because you get the shade stunners, you get like the neon, you get the sunglasses, and then you get like rappers wearing more like neon, and then kind of going into like this hipster culture, and Pitchfork is like celebrating the Carter 3, you know, and stuff like that. But they were on tour, and A-Track was the DJ for Kanye at the time. That's how A-Track got started. Yeah.
Wow.
So A-Track's so nuts because he's also Chromeo's brother, the guy from Chromeo. Yeah, they're brothers, the lead singer.
I had no idea.
But A-Track played it up even higher. So when they came on to perform it with them, he couldn't whistle, and Kanye just like roasted him for like, oh, you're the whistle guy and you don't know how to whistle. Yeah, it was just really higher pitch.
That's crazy you bring that up though, because that was like a lot of the reason why I liked some rappers. And like, oh man, they're including that or they're featuring them. Like that's sick. Like yeah, I think that's kind of what I really enjoyed too about going back to the indie mic band, and then I got to like rappers like featuring them. That was awesome.
Yeah, I think because I think a lot about like Childish Gambino's early his early mixtapes are a lot of just samples. He's just rapping over. He rapped over like "Crown on the Ground" by Sleigh Bells. He rapped over "2 Weeks" by Grizzly Bear. It's like one of my favorite early tracks. It's so nerdy. Like
it's such a good song though.
I love it. 2 Weeks is great, but like the rap he does is so nerdy. Like this is like when he was like still like a nerd rapper before he became smooth
before he moved up.
Yeah, he would like reference like goofy stuff that I love, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. He likes nerdy stuff too. But yeah, so it's so funny to think about like that. This is obviously isn't a turning point, but this is definitely a part of that era. And you see, like, I mean, indie bands doing the same, like vice versa. And the thing about it too is that like it wasn't like these indie bands weren't influenced by rap to begin with, but it put it on the forefront to where you could hear it in the music.
Yeah. I feel like I want to say Drake was one of them. Kid Cudi.
Oh yeah.
Kid Cudi. Like I love Rat-a-Tat, and when I found out that I had no idea, and then it clicked. I'm like, oh shit! Like that's Rat-a-Tat. It was awesome. I love Kid Cudi.
It's backwards, right? Was Pursuit of Happiness.
It was Pursuit of Happiness, and there was another one. I think it was Heaven at Night, and there was
Day and Night.
No, Heaven at Night.
Oh, okay.
No, I do love Day and Night though. That was definitely a song I also heard during this time, and I just recently saw how that song was made, and I was like, oh my god. Like in shock. It's just so cool. I think the best, like it kind of goes the best of both worlds in the sense that like there are like some of my favorite rappers are people who are influenced by like these indie sounds, and then vice versa. Some of like my favorite indie bands, you can hear like that they were really into like the Carter 3 or like, I mean the Carter 3 is always the first. I remember seeing them like the number I'm pretty sure it was a Carter 3 that was like Pitchfork's #1 song of the year or #1 album of the year. And being really like, I'm like, oh, like Pitchfork fucks with Lil Wayne, like this is crazy, what?
Like what, like yeah. And now it's just so normal. Yeah.
That's funny too because I just brought up Drake, but not a fan of Drake, like not a huge fan. But it's funny because he actually featured or took a song from Peter, Bjorn, and John, and it's one of my favorite songs on that album. I forgot what album it is, but it's called Let's Call It Off, which is like their actual song that they have. I'm not sure if it's on Writer's Block, I think, that album. And I guess Drake took it and just made it like his, but I will say it sounds better. He did him a favor, but yeah, it's really cool that they do that. And I just thought about that because I just brought up Peter, Bjorn, and John.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So someone else who I'm working on my transition, so this is a really good transition. I just want to point that out for everybody.
I'm really proud of this.
Yeah. So someone else who mixes genres really well is James Murphy of LCD Soundsystem, who is your fifth song. I Can Change by LCD Soundsystem is your fifth song.
Yeah.
Are you familiar at all with the book Meet Me in the Bathroom?
No.
Oh, I recommend it. And if you have Spotify, you can download the audiobook because it's on there for free on Spotify Premium. That's not an ad. I don't want to spy. But you should check it out one way or the other. It's this woman, Liz. I forgot her last name. Liz Goodman, I think. Yeah. She did all these interviews. It's about like the New York indie scene from like 2000 to 2010. It's about like what has become known as Indie Sleaze now. And she interviews like hundreds of people, and she talks to James Murphy a lot. And people talk about LCD Soundsystem and how he was like a straight up just rock guy. He didn't like dance music. And sometime in like 2002 or 2003, maybe a little bit before that, he really started getting into like electronica. I want to say like he listened to Daft Punk or something along those lines and was like, oh, like dance music can be this. And that kind of, this is right when he already had DFA records. And I think that's what kind of provoked LCD Soundsystem. Yeah. Just him getting into dance music and being like, oh, you can make this very like rock and roll.
Yeah. So I didn't know any of that, and I didn't even know. That's just a lot of information.
Yeah. Sorry.
props for doing all this research. Ties into again to going to ACL. I didn't know who LCD Soundsystem was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know, and they were the last band I saw. I think that first night. I think it was the first night. Also too, I went with did not know what the hell ACL was. Did not know I was going to be there all day and seeing all these bands. But it was amazing too, because at the time, I guess my sister was coming back. She had just gone to Coachella or something. So she had already seen a lot of these bands that were like in the, they were performing for ACL. Uh-huh. So she was kind of like, okay, we're going to go there. Like you do you. And I was like, by myself. So, it was right after I went to go see like, the Strokes or something, and I was with my friend that I brought up from the first episode that took my songs from my iPod. So we were there, and I think we decided to go to this, stick together. But when I went to see LCD Soundsystem, I don't even know if it was planned or I don't know, because I didn't know who they were. So I think it was just me listening to them and like finding like the sound and just walking to like, I'm like, hey, that sounds really badass. Who the fuck is this? So I go and it's LCD Soundsystem, and I remember specifically this song specifically was like a moment where I was in the crowd with everybody at this point. I don't think we were together at this point during that, or the time when this last song came on, and I was by myself, and I found myself by myself at ACL, and it was like the very end, and I'm pretty sure at this point, my phone was probably dead. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna find my sister, but it's worth it. I'm gonna stay here. Like it was just so sick. And I'm like looking around. I'm like, I don't see anybody I know. Obviously, I'm trying to see if like my sister's gonna pop up or my friend's gonna pop up. No one's there. I'm like, okay, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna keep dancing. I remember there was like a couple, and they were a lot older too. They were probably like, I want to say I'm in their 40s, 50s. Mm-hmm. And not say they're older, but at the time of me, I was like, 15, 16. So to me, I was like, okay, they were just like dancing with me, like twirling me. And it was just like amazing. And I think also too, I feel like at first I was like freaking out and panicking. Being kind of like lost and left at freaking ACL.
Yeah.
So I think to me, I found it like a moment of embracing, like, fuck it. Like here I am, YOLO it, just freaking have a good time. So I kind of just like let loose and let it go and stop trying to like, let the best or let it get the best of me. So I was more just jamming out with just total strangers. Like it almost felt like maybe like I don't know, like hippie vibes. Like they were just kind of like, I love it. Welcome everybody.
It feels like Woodstock.
Yeah, exactly. And to me, like I didn't know about Woodstock, so I was like, this is very much like Woodstock, and it, like just like the little like graphics of it, like ACL. I was like, this is very much like Woodstock, but I literally felt that vibe where they were kind of just like, oh, come here, like we just love everybody. That's all, hug. So to me, like I don't know. I feel like it was just, I don't know, because I wasn't on drugs or anything, but I was more like lost in this big ass place. We have a ACL, it's fucking huge, and I was just like listening to the music and just like, oh my god, where is this? And I just felt like it was a moment of, I don't know,
like it lured you over.
Yeah. And being by myself. So I really felt like it was just beautiful, like being able to totally have like this experience that was like happy, and I'm dancing and I'm finally like just carefree, and I was with total strangers. And I just remember very specifically those two people that looked older, but it wasn't not just them, it was like a group that they were all with. And I just felt like we're all a little family. I don't know, it was very cool. It was kind of like emotional, but it was really cool, and it was really nice. And this was also too in 2010, I think. And it was right before they announced that they were going to break up.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I got to experience that. And it was just like so beautiful. So to me, I feel like that's why. And it's just think it's beautiful, but it's a really good song to me. I think it's just good vibes all around. It just gives me like a very, I don't know, just something to my brain chemistry. Maybe. Yeah.
No, I agree 100%. And they are a band that like, I mean, it's weird. It's like Tame Impala, like, Tame Impala is Kevin Parker, but he tours with the band, so they are like Tame Impala. Yeah. LCD Soundsystem is James Murphy, but he also has like long-standing band members, so it's weird to like say him or them in terms of what the band is. But they're a band that I feel like I got into kind of late. I remember I have a friend when I was at UT. I had a friend who was a radio, television, film major, and she did like this promo for her co-op. And they used North American Scum, and that was the first time I'd ever heard them. And their co-op was very like a hippie co-op. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on, like a lot of naked dudes and stuff. And I'm watching this promo, and this song is just so like engaging. It's like uncomfortable, but like I'm also like I can't stop listening
to it.
Yeah, and stop watching too.
Like it just consumed.
Yeah, and then I think that he really captures like all of that in the songs. Yeah. 1 second, let me. Teddy, hey, get down. Get down. Yeah, that was like my introduction to them, and that's kind of where I pick off from them. And then this song is so interesting because I know the song, but I don't associate it, and then like with like being like the significant song, and then I listen to it, I'm like, oh no, this makes total sense. Like this is pretty like epitome of like their sound.
Yeah. Also too, I remember, this is gonna sound crazy, but you know how he brought up like maybe he was listening to Daft Punk or something, or he mentioned Daft Punk earlier, which I love Daft Punk. But there was a time, I think it was during South by Southwest. I remember specifically like they were posting like that. It was that Random Access Memories promo. And you know how they had like the little MySpace house or like whatever? Yeah. And we were all convinced that they were going to come because they had those freaking promos everywhere. So we were like, Daft Punk's coming. So I remember tweeting or like on the search bar, like typing like Daft Punk, like just trying to freaking find the hashtags or whatever. Yeah. And I had no idea that LCD had a song called Daft Punk Playing at My House. Yeah. So someone was like, you know, whatever they shared before with that, and it was like maybe like that same day. I'm like, oh my God, they were playing at their house. So I was like, we found out where they live. And dude, it was so crazy because I don't know who told me like that's a song. Because I was like, oh my God, dude, like this whole stranger, like they're going to play at his house. Like, come on. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, it's so funny because I don't know if it was started that year, but there was like 3 or 4 years straight where everyone like would make the joke that like Daft Punk was playing at like they're playing under a bridge, or they're playing like it was always playing at like a weird location at South by.
Dude, I think it was that year. It was crazy because we were all convinced, and I have a picture too in front of me because I was just like, they're gonna come. Like no, like never came.
But yeah, I'm glad you picked this song because this is a song that like I like know of and I like, but I didn't. Digging into it made me like appreciate it even more.
Digging into it, how like
it's about his divorce.
Oh shit!
It's about him like not begging for his wife back, but just like talking about like the feelings about I can change, like, and that's why like when he stresses like I can change. It's so interesting too because this like the beginning of this song sounds like Gary Newman here in my car. It reminds me very much of like Gary Newman, but apparently he was listening to the Eurythmics a lot. And it's not necessarily like based off Sweet Dreams, but the album that Sweet Dreams is on, there's the first track, and I can't remember what it's called. It's called something Lover or something. But you hear that song back to back, and like, oh, like it's clear that's what he was talking about. Like
inspired.
Yeah, and I hear that, and then I hear a little bit of Funky Town a little bit, like when he's repeating, like you almost hear like that very like glassy sound, you know. It's just so crazy that like all of those influences are in this song. I don't think there's a sample in this song. I think everything is just made like straight up. He like just made all the like rhythms, but it sounds so familiar.
Yeah. It's like to me like something like I've heard before, and like just familiar, like nostalgic too. Like Walking on a Dream sounds very like familiar for some reason to me, or like nostalgic. And I'm like, from where? I don't think it's sampled either. Or anything like that,
I think that he did such a good job, and all of these bands especially do such a good job of like, it's like they are a DJ within the song, and that you'll hear DJs like reference certain things. Like Girl Talk has a mashup where he does Party in the USA and a song about cocaine or something like Miley Cocaine, you know, like it's like a joke on that. But he, like James Murphy's so good at like putting all these like nostalgia things in the actual song while also not actually using those things. So it's like these references using like, it's like kind of meta in a way.
Yeah.
How he just brings everything all together. My favorite, I don't know which is my favorite. Daft Punk is Playing at My House is probably up there. North American Scum is definitely up there too. All My Friends, I think that might be my favorite. And but it's so cliche too. Like this song is perfect because it's not cliche.
I thought this one was cliche.
That's so funny. I got the complete opposite vibe of it because of how it starts off. It just kind of starts off very like you hit the ground running, but it's not super intense. Yeah, exactly. It's not super intense, and it's not immediately nostalgic. I mean, it's nostalgic in the sense of what it sounds like, but not like this isn't like a closer, but it probably is a closer. You know?
Have you heard "Oh Baby"? It's pretty good.
I don't think so.
I heard it right before I got here. I'm like, I forgot about that song. That's good.
But yeah, I think that this is a perfect song to kind of cap off the playlist. I think that you originally had Electric Feel, which I love. I love that first MGMT album. I need to give Congratulations another chance because I didn't get it when I first heard it. I think a lot of people didn't, which is why they kind of faded off. And I think that was intentional by them.
Oh wait, that's not them specifically.
MGMT.
Oh, okay.
So like their second album is so different, and I think they were tired of like the vibe that they were getting from the first album, and they wanted to do other stuff. And
is it MGMT or is it management? Because like
they started out as management.
Yeah, that video surfaced with like we're management, and I was like, I mean, duh, MGMT means management. I mean, I knew that, but I never like thought of like, oh, they're management. It was always MGMT to me.
They were
like,
straight up management, and then there was another band I think that had, if not the same name, then a similar name. I don't know if they got sued or if they just decided to differentiate them from them. They would go by MGMT. But it's one of those things where, like, when people say, like, Pixies are my favorite band, and when people say the Pixies, like, no, it's not the Pixies, it's Pixies.
I thought it was the Pixies.
Everybody does, and it's fine. Like, it's not, it doesn't hurt anybody if you say the, but there are people who get really, ooh. Teddy's one of those people. He's like, I need to talk about the Pixies.
like Pixies.
But people get a little aggro about like, no, it's management, not MGMT. Yeah. Only noobs say that, you know.
It's like you just gave away your age, or
yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, I think that LCD Soundsystem is like the perfect way to cap this off. We talked about a lot of bands that you want to include, or any other ones?
There's a lot of bands. Like, I don't know. I really like, one of my favorite bands is the XX.
Oh yeah.
And I hope I don't sound dumb right now, because it doesn't like XX really mean like women. I know there's XY chromosomes, but that's what I thought. Anyway, it has nothing to do with that.
XX is a women because there's more likely to get women because there's two that's the same. Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. I'm like, wait.
That's how I always had to.
I was like, wait,
I
don't want to second guess myself, but I'm going to second guess myself. But it had nothing really to do with that. But that was just the cool thing about it being the XX. But no, I love the XX, and also too, I feel like when their second album came out, I was just really like, it was around my birthday too, so I was like really like obsessed, and I got to see them too. Oh my god, Teddy.
Sorry.
That's okay. And I got to see them, and it was just, I don't know, it was awesome, and they were all still like a band that just was kind of like out of the blue to me.
Yeah.
XX would have been on there for sure. It would have been hard to pick one song, but if I were to pick one, it would be probably Intro from the first album. I'm not sure if you like the XX, but
they're one of those, like, I don't want to call them background, but they're definitely like, if they're on a playlist, yeah.
Yeah.
Like them and like Beach House and
I love Beach House.
Yeah. I have a theory that there's not a single band that has beach in the name that is bad.
Me either. I literally had that same thought. Like, I love Beach Fossils.
Yeah, Beach Fossils, Beach Bunny, Beach Boys, Beach House.
Boys,
yeah. Like I feel like if you have beach in name, you have to be good. Like, it's just a rule. Yeah.
It's standard. No, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would probably put Digitalism.
Oh,
Pogo.
yeah.
Pogo's good. Block Party. I did mention the Block Party earlier. The Yeah. Also, okay, so I know for a fact that Decepticon was not in that same year type frame.
Like Le Tigre's Decepticon?
Le Tigre, yeah.
It was, yeah.
I had a hard time. I really wanted to put it on my playlist because I love that song, and it was such a, it blew up at that time. But I think it was way older, right?
Well, barely. I want to say it was like 02.
90s. Oh,
maybe
shoot.
it is 90s.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Because like
I could be wrong.
Bikini Kill ended in the early 90s, so I imagine like I know La Tigre started shortly after Kathleen Hanna like ended Bikini Kill. Mm-hmm. I don't know when Decepticon came out though, because it could have been that La Tigre started right after that, and then 10 years later Decepticon comes out. I don't know.
I want to say that that's the reason why I didn't put it, because it was like a song that was like super like way.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, it's not gonna be.
I would have accepted it.
Damn it. Yeah, but that was like for sure a song that I feel like it just kind of blew up in that time. Like also too like Daft Punk. Yeah. I love Daft Punk, but I consider that more like electro rock. I don't know.
I mean, it's still a part of that era.
Yeah, and that to me, I feel like that's also where I discovered Daft Punk. It was more of that era. I was definitely like around 2006, 2007. And it was definitely before that Kanye West song.
Yeah. Stronger. Yeah.
But I wanted to put Daft Punk too, but I'm like, I love Daft Punk. That's gonna be way too hard. You should probably do like a whole thing on Daft
Punk. We had Allison Alonso on when we did Cover Stories, my old podcast, and she did a mashup of Daft Punk, Bill Withers, and Khalid.
Oh wow!
You should check it out.
Khalid's from El Paso.
Yeah, he is. I saw him. He opened up. He played South by. We went to see him. I can't remember who played.
It was like recent.
Yeah, he opened up for Halsey.
Oh, okay,
it was a good show. Location was one of the songs that she did.
Oh, that's a good song.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Daft Punk is definitely. I definitely consider them. I mean,
I consider them, yeah, for sure. But I was still like. Is it?
It's one of those things too. Like whenever people get the option to choose these songs, like I'm all for like talking about stuff that like is big, but also it's also fun to talk about like the smaller stuff. I mean, Crystal Castles is popular, but they're still like much smaller than like Daft Punk or Also like Peter and John, I feel like they're just they wore that. They flipped. I like their follow up to that. It was "Shut the Fuck Up, Boy." That song, I can't.
Never heard of that one.
It was like their follow up single. I want to say it was their follow up single, and it was. I liked it, but it was also I see why people just didn't.
You know who also kind of went like I'm not a huge fan of Portugal the Man.
Oh yeah,
they kind of totally like.
That's so funny. They started out like I considered them like an emo band when they started.
Kind of not so much emo to me, like when I'm used to like the mosh pit type of thing, but
like
definitely
acoustic emo, like kind of like Bright Eyes.
And now they're more. Were they doing that commercial type of?
They're like
they just sold out.
Like they remind me now of like Airborne Toxic Event, like those types of bands, or like Fits in the Tantrums. Like it's not stomp clap, but it's.
And like the thing is that I brought them up because I just thought I'm always on TikTok, but somebody was pointing out that Empire of the Sun, there's that song "We Are the People" or one of those songs, and like this sounds exactly like this. It was Portugal the Man, and I was like, what?
My favorite Portugal the Man song is "Colors." Mm-hmm. It's just like this super like haunting. It sounds like something like My Morning Jacket would do. Like it's very like somber and like it's a song that I like want to get that record just to have it like on vinyl because I want to like listen to it.
I never heard it. I'm gonna have to listen to it.
It's really good. But yeah, I think about like with this era too, there's just so many bands that really. It's so funny now because I think a lot of them are kind of coming back with TikTok, with the TikTok sounds, and that's why Indie Sleaze came up. I can't end this without like talking about the Dare. Because the Dare, everyone like some guy referred to them as STD Soundsystem. Like,
who is the Dare? I don't even know the Dare.
I like girls that I can't remember the words.
I'll look it up later.
But they have a song called "Girls," and it's just talking about like it's so LCD Soundsystem coded. Like it's so, and it's one of those things. It's not even like apologetic about it. It's not like they're trying to like, oh, we're original. It's like no, like you guys are like we're totally like copying LCD Soundsystem. Yeah. No, thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
this is a lot of fun.
Having me.
Do you have any plugs, any shout outs, anything you want to?
Not really. I want to give a shout out to my brother-in-law. It's his birthday today. So,
cool. Well, happy birthday.
So that's always, I couldn't be there because I'm here. Really? So I will give you, So I'll give you a shout out because of that.
Happy birthday. You should have said something.
No, it's okay. Damn, no, it's okay. No. No, but he's also the person that like really loves Daft Punk. So had to mention Daft Punk too because it's like our thing, like our family's thing. So
that's dope.
So yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Cool. Well, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening to Mixtape Stories.